Powered only by the wind and the sun, it's the Medicare for the Lazy Man podcast. The roadside vegetable stand of Medicare podcasts. And now, did he fire 6 shots or only 5? It's Medicare expert Doug Jones.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another thrill-packed episode of the Medicare for the Lazy Man podcast. This is the podcast that may look lazy, may sound lazy, but in reality has a very energetic goal in life, and that is to help you, the listener, feel confident and comfortable with the idea of Medicare becoming your health insurance plan. And it may not be tomorrow, it may not be next week, but there's going to come a time in your future, if you live long enough, when Medicare will be your health insurance plan. It'll be the law of the land. And I have a couple of ways for you to feel more confident about that transition as you approach it. I would suggest that you go to Amazon.com or BarnesandNoble.com and look for a little book called Medicare for the Lazy Man 2025. That's the current edition, and Medicare for the Lazy Man is about a $10 or $11 purchase, depending on which store you're in. They will send you that paperback book. You will be able to sit down with a couple of stiff drinks and be finished in a fairly short period of time. You will know more about Medicare than almost anybody else on your block. You know, when you go out and say, hey, kids, let's talk Medicare, you're going to be the expert. You're going to be the one that people look up to. Your friends and neighbors will ooh and ah at the amount of knowledge that you will have gained from the book Medicare for the Lazy Man 2025. Now, you may also want to become an expert in a very painless way with Medicare drug plans. I'll tell you why everybody needs a Medicare drug plan. If you don't have a Medicare drug plan, and some of these things are free, so don't worry too much about the cost, but if you don't, even if you don't take any drugs, everybody should have a Medicare drug plan, because if you shine it on, if you say, I don't need a drug plan, I don't need no stinking drug plan because I don't take no stinking drugs, at some point in the future, when you do take drugs and you decide that it would be a good idea to get a drug plan, they're going to say, all right, well, here's your drug plan. Here's the cost of your drug plan. And then the government is going to come down on you like a ton of bricks. They're going to say, by the way, here is the amount of your lifetime late enrollment penalty. And nobody wants to have a lifetime late enrollment penalty for any reason at all. So I would suggest that you take seriously the fact that Medicare drug plans are mandatory if you want to avoid a penalty. My book, Medicare Drug Plans, a simple DIY guide, is available at Amazon.com. In paperback form, it's a $10 item. In Kindle form, it's a $3 item. It's available as an Audible, just like the other book. All the other books, really. I don't know what the cost is because they don't consult me when they set a price for the Audible book, but it's certainly one way to absorb the drug plan knowledge that you're going to want to have. And finally, we have a book that I just wrote. It is the probably the most powerful Medicare book when you consider the weight of the book or the number of pages, either one. This book has more raw Medicare knowledge packed into it than any other book I've ever seen. It's short, it's sweet, it's right to the point. It's called Medicare for the Lazy Man, Bare Bones. It has the word bare bones diagonal across the cover because it is a synopsis of the most critical information contained in the Medicare for the Lazy Man 2025 book. This tells you how to enroll in Medicare. There are many people who say, just the facts. I just want the facts. Do not give me a bunch of history or explanation about things that I don't really care about. All I want to do is enroll in Medicare. What's my first step? What's my second step? Are you going to be my agent? Okay, what's my third step? That's what Bare Bones does for you. Medicare for the Lazy Man, Bare Bones. And I always say hello to Randy at this point in the podcast, but I've got a little treat for him. I wanted to tell him that I discovered a brain damaged moron that left a review of the Bare Bones book on Amazon. And if I can find my picture, I took a picture of the Amazon review page, and I always like to share these things with Randy because he understands that some members of the public could use a little tuning up. And so, because this book is so new, it has very few customer reviews. And frankly, I don't twist a lot of arms. I don't pay money to get customer reviews. I just let them come naturally. And I'm anticipating that this book will garner more than its share of customer reviews. But so one book says well written, or one review says well written, excellent book. Another review says lazy man author has good insight, and that's a very positive review. And then this other review showed up, and he gave me 2 stars out of 5. And he says, beware. And Randy's going, oh, this could be serious. The guy discovered something dangerous within that book. The book, by the way, has something like 20 pages of instruction, and it is a book designed to help you get through the Medicare enrollment process and then help you figure out how to get a Medicare supplement, which is going to involve a licensed insurance agent. And then it points you in the direction of additional knowledge about drug plans. So this guy goes, beware, exclamation point. This is basically a sales pitch for the author who is an insurance agent. Now, my one-word response to that, and Randy just articulated it very nicely across the screen in silent form. I'm got the mic here, so I'm going to say that my one-word response would be, duh. What do you think it's going to be? I'm not going to write a book that's an advertisement for somebody else. I'm going to write a book, and especially an instructional book, to tell you how I can help you become satisfied with your Medicare coverage, is how you can acquire the best possible coverage under Medicare when many other agents are going to lie to you. So I want to say this person is brain damaged or evil, but I'm thinking brain damaged. In fact, let's see. The name is Fleetwood. So Fleetwood on Amazon has shown his twisted understanding of reality by saying, beware, this is basically a sales pitch for the author who is an insurance agent. Who did he expect the author to be? A checker at a grocery store, for Christ's sake? Who's going to write a book about Medicare other than an insurance person who deals with Medicare every day? So thanks a lot, Fleetwood, you moron. I just wanted to let you know that if you ever need to be institutionalized, there is a movement afoot to reestablish all of the loony bins that were taken out of service in the 1960s. And that's where some of these what do I want to say? They're these poorly adjusted human beings that need supervision are going to be living in the future, I hope. And you might be one of them. So good luck with that. Well, anyway, that was I knew Randy would enjoy that, and I'm happy to have him joining us now in his official capacity as podcast supervisor, podcast engineer, no, podcast producer. I think that's
Well,
probably
I prefer to call it podcast godling.
okay. Well, in that case, let's use that as your official title from now on.
How you doing, Doug?
Well, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. It's a beautiful day here in Pugsleyville. Pugsley's not hanging around anywhere. No Texas Democrats have been skulking around as far as I can tell. So
Well, I'll tell you, I thought you lived in a nice neighborhood. You know, you're right in the middle of Pugsleyville, and then you got a bunch of cowardly Texas Democrats skulking around. I mean,
well,
gee whiz.
it didn't take much to get rid of those Texas Democrats. All it took was one fake bomb scare phone call.
Oh yeah, they scattered out of there like a bunch of rats on a sinking ship.
Yeah, they ski-daddled out of here faster than you would ever imagine. So they were not as courageous as they would like their constituents to believe. In any event, I've got all kinds of stuff to do for the podcast today, but I've given Randy a menu of items that we can address if I have enough time at the end of the podcast. So probably what I ought to do is go through some of the things that Randy wouldn't be involved in. The first item we always like to take care of is our Medicare Advantage Minute, wherein we find something that is detrimental to Medicare Advantage plans. We try to explain that Medicare Advantage plans are not going to be your best solution for your Medicare health insurance going forward. We don't want to spend the whole episode beating up on Medicare Advantage because people will start to feel sorry for them. But we do want to let people know in every episode that there is going to be a better way, and that's going to be Medicare supplement plans. So in today's Medicare Advantage Minute, I am reading. I called an audible and I changed out what I told Randy was going to be on the itinerary, because I just a few minutes before the episode started received an email from Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas. Now, this is a huge insurance company, and it was purchased a bunch of years ago by HCSC, Healthcare Service Corporation, which is a Chicago company that now owns Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas and Blue Cross Blue Shield of Oklahoma and Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Mexico and Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois and Blue Cross Blue Shield of Montana and Cigna Insurance Company. So this HCSC is becoming quite the conglomerate of insurance companies. And they sent me, actually specifically Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas sent me this morning an email announcing that all of their Medicare Advantage plans and all of their Medicare Advantage plans will no longer pay commissions starting January 1st of 2026. Now, how do they get brokers, insurance brokers like me, to sell a product? Well, they pay us. They pay us for my efforts in finding customers for them. And so that is a commission. It's basically often a percentage of the amount of money that the customer has to pay to acquire the product. And that's my reward for finding a new customer and encouraging the customer to purchase a product from the insurance company. And so what they're telling me here is that they do not want to encourage brokers in the future to have people sell or to have people purchase their Medicare Advantage plans. In some cases around the country with other Medicare Advantage insurance companies, it's just a few of their plans or a plan in a certain location that they've stopped paying commissions on. In the case of Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas, they have stopped paying commissions starting January 1st on all of their Medicare Advantage plans, according to this email that I received. And for prescription drug plans, to be determined. So they may, I don't know that they were paying any commissions, but they may not start paying commissions on those drug plans in 2026 either. I think their actuaries are busily sharpening pencils. Also, the federal government likes for insurance companies and insurance agents to keep things a secret about Medicare drug plans until October 1st. So we don't know what's going to happen with the drug plans, but right now they're not paying any commissions on prescription drug plans, and they may continue not paying commissions on those, but they're going to start not paying commissions on Medicare Advantage plans next year. And I think that's a pretty big deal for a big insurance company.
Is that somewhere related, Doug, to they're having problem with headwinds?
Well, the headwinds, yes, have come to Texas. And apparently the result is that brokers are not going to be compensated for helping to sell their products. Maybe they don't want anybody selling their products.
So, that somehow that just doesn't match up in my mind, Oh, yeah, we would really like to sell you. Oh, yeah, come work for us, would you, Doug? We're not going to pay you anything,
right?
But come work for us and, represent us. That would be cool. But, we're not going to give you any income at all from it. And your customers, because you're selling them a Medicare Disadvantage plan, are not going to be happy with you either. So,
exactly.
You can't win.
Well, fortunately for me, just me personally, since I don't sell Medicare Advantage plans because I believe they're a poor choice for most people, I will not be affected by this announcement.
Well,
But
and the people selling them, I think it's getting more poor as time goes forward to be even associated with them.
well, what are these people going to be doing? They're going to be trying to muscle us out of the way and stealing our Medicare supplement customers. But what are they going to fail to achieve? They're going to fail to use the tool that we have, which is high deductible plan G, because I have seen examples, and I'm going to tell you right now, I have a woman who she's not going to become my client. Her name is Doris. She lives in Chicago. She won't become my client because she's retiring from, I think, UPS. And UPS has offered to pay, I think, $60 a month, probably for the rest of her life. And so she's read my book to gain further knowledge about Medicare, and she understands the concept of the high deductible plan G. When she asks the insurance firm that was hired by UPS to help retirees cope with Medicare, and they told her, here are the Medicare supplement plans that we encourage you to buy. When she asked about Medicare high deductible plan G, they told her that nobody buys that. Nobody buys that. So we're not going to sell it to you. Isn't that exciting? So I'm not worried about the
Gee,
competition.
I think there's some bias going on there, Doug. Do I smell some lies?
I think you smell lies that we've run into before, and I believe that they are also missing an opportunity to have a customer that may be a very loyal client. So I'm inclined to think that that's just going to be bad news for them in the long term run. Maybe they should go learn how to pump gas.
You know
There are a lot of
something? I would agree with you, but the other thing I was going to, help people out with is one time Doug and I were talking on a podcast. How do you identify Medicare Advantage zombies? I can tell you, they all have long noses and they're getting longer.
Well, that's a very accurate statement, and that's how you can tell them from us. I'm pretty sure. I may have misinterpreted. I've got somebody else that I was going to refer to that the advisors that are paid by their company to handle retiree benefits said that nobody buys high deductible plans. In Doris's case, um, I can't remember. It was expressed a slightly different way, but the end result was the same. They wouldn't sell her a high deductible Medicare supplement plan, even though, as I demonstrated for Doris, I'm willing to demonstrate for anybody, high deductible plans are the best deal going for those who don't want to spend a ton of money on their health insurance, and they don't want to be trapped in an overpriced health insurance plan that continues to have rate increases many years into the future, when a high deductible plan has fewer rate increases. And when they have a rate increase, it's always going to be smaller, fewer dollars than the plans that these other companies are recommending. So their agents may be cast aside by Texas Blues. They're not going to pay commissions on their Medicare Advantage plans anymore, but we don't have to worry about those agents being an effective competition for us, because they're going to miss the boat, in my opinion, on the opportunities that you and I are taking advantage of. We've got a bunch of happy clients that never express any discontent with their high deductible plan Gs. And I'll tell you that I had a piece of paper in here to mention today, and I have been on high deductible plan G, actually high deductible plan F, but they're identical benefits, since I joined Medicare years ago. And a lot of people go, oh my God, I go to the doctor a couple of times a year. I don't want to have to pay that. Well, there's a $257 front end deductible this year. I have satisfied that deductible, but I just got an explanation of benefits for a doctor's appointment that I had earlier this year. This doctor is the head of the vascular surgery department at a major Chicago hospital, and I was lucky enough to have him perform surgery on my vascular system years ago. And I go in once a year to just sit down and hand him a set of the books. He always wants to have my newest books. And I obviously, Medicare pays for the appointment. And what happens is I have to pay my share, my 20%, because although my front end deductible has been taken care of, my 20% needs to be paid. And that's the part that I have to pay because I have a very low priced high deductible plan G or plan F. So I have an EOB here. Medicare, this guy obviously billed, or the hospital on behalf of my vascular surgeon, billed a large dollar amount. And Medicare said, no, we're not going to allow you to do that. They cut it back. They reduced the amount allowed to $219. So that's the amount that the doctor is allowed to bill for my services. So they sent a check to the doctor's office for $200 and then $200.29, and then sent the bill over to the offices of my Medicare supplement plan. And they said, okay, we're going to add that to the eventual balance. And if he has a lot of expenses, we're going to start paying that 20% that we do not pay right now. And so then the balance billed to me was $18.71. So out of a bill that was probably $500 and was cut back to $219, the amount I wrote a check for was $18.71. And that is the benefit of having a plan that probably saves me $125 a month or more. So that works out really, really nicely for anybody that's on high deductible plan F or G. Anyway, I'm back to the podcast schedule, which is I set aside for a few minutes, our Medicare Benefits 2025. Segment today is going to be about preventive visits. So this time it's going to be Welcome to Medicare Preventive Visit. Next time it'll be regular annual Medicare paid preventive visit. So what we have here is a description of how Medicare is going to view the preventive visit, the Welcome to Medicare Preventive Visit. Part B, as in Bravo, covers one Welcome to Medicare Preventive Visit within the first 12 months that you have Part B. This Welcome to Medicare visit is not a physical exam. During this visit, your doctor, and they always say, or other healthcare provider, it's your doctor or, some assistant. They will do these things. They will review your medical and social history related to your health. They will give you information about preventive services, including certain screening shots or vaccines like flu, pneumococcal, and other recommended immunizations. They will review your potential risk factors for substance use disorder like alcohol and tobacco, and refer you for treatment if needed. They will give you referrals for other health care as needed. They will calculate your body mass index. They will give you a simple vision test, review your potential risk for depression, offer to talk with you about creating advance directives. Advance directives are legal documents that record your wishes about future medical treatment in case you're ever unable to make decisions about your care. They will also give you a written plan, like a checklist, letting you know what screening, shots, and other preventive services you need. If you have a current prescription for opioids, your provider will also do the following things: review your potential risk factors for opioid use disorder, evaluate your pain level and current treatment plan, give you information on non-opioid treatment options, refer you to a specialist if appropriate, and review your risk factors for substance use disorders like alcohol and tobacco, and refer you for treatment if needed. Now, what are the costs for this massive Welcome to Medicare Preventive Visit? You pay nothing if the doctor accepts assignment. The Part B, as in Bravo deductible, which is $257 this year, does not apply. However, you may have to pay the 20% unless you went to Doug Jones to get a Medicare supplement that will take care of that for you one way or the other. The Part B deductible may apply if your provider performs additional tests or services during your visit that Medicare does not cover under this preventive visit. If Medicare doesn't cover the additional tests or services like a routine physical exam, you may have to pay the full amount. Uh-oh, that's in bold-face type. So you might want to tell your doctor, I want only the Welcome to Medicare Preventive Visit, and I will come back some other time to take care of any additional things. Or make it 2 separate visits, go out the door and turn around, come right back in. Things to know. When you make your appointment, let your doctor's office know that you'd like to schedule your Welcome to Medicare Preventive Visit. For more information, go to medicare.gov/coverage/welcome-to-Medicare-preventive-visit. All righty. That is going to take care of our mandatory podcast segments for today. And I did also want to bring up a piece of business from a prior episode. I listened to an episode in which Randy tortured me by asking me what happened on such and such a date in 1940, and it turns out that was the birth date of Peter Sellers. And Randy told us that his source of trivia said that Peter Sellers invented the Pink Panther. And I poo-pooed that. It's rare that Randy and I poo-poo each other during a podcast recording, but I was pretty sure that wasn't right. So I got my AI out, my trusty Perplexity AI, and I printed the result. The Pink Panther, the animated Pink Panther, was invented by a guy named Fritz Freleng, Freleng, and another guy, David D. Patty, first appearing in the opening credits of the 1963 film The Pink Panther, not as a separate invention, but as a character based on the film's diamond. It was all about the theft of a major diamond, and the name of the diamond was the Pink Panther. Blake Edwards was the director of the movie, and he requested that somebody create a character for the film's advertising and title sequence. So the character proved so popular, that Pink Panther character, that a series of shorts beginning with the Pink Fink, that's P-H-I-N-K, in 1964 were created, leading to an Oscar win for the short and the eventual development of the Pink Panther show. So I just thought I'd let you know that Peter Sellers had nothing to do with the invention of the Pink Panther, and your source of trivia has to be corrected, chastised, perhaps.
Does that mean I'm going to have to give you back that $50?
Randy is either he knows that how to turn his microphone on, so it's got to be my headphones.
Can you hear me?
I can now. Could you, for my edification, could you begin at the beginning again?
I said, does that mean I'm going to have to give you back that $50 that I bet you?
That's always my goal. And I'm just lucky that I was able to figure out this time how to do it in a fairly painless manner. Hey, listen, you've got at the bottom of the podcast checklist, you've got a list of the voluminous material I have here. I wonder if you would like to pick out a category for me to dredge an article up from and take care of our few remaining minutes.
We are going to go for correspondence.
Okay. That's the content curator's favorite category.
I'm trying to curry favor with the content curator.
Oh boy, I can tell you right now that's tough to do. That is a tough row to hoe you got there, but good luck. I'm rooting for you. Okay, here we go. This is from a recent client who just had her coverage created, but this was written when she first contacted me a couple of months ago. Okay, she started out in June asking me, did I number these all in? She said, okay, hey, Doug, I'm not sure you received my last email. I definitely want to sign up for the high deductible G plan. I was told I could do that as early as 6 months prior to my 65th birthday. This woman is a real estate agent down in the Southeast, and she is a hyperactive overachiever because she wanted to sign up in June for her Medicare supplement that would be effective in, I think, November or December. And I tried to dissuade her. I said, that's really early. Well, it turns out I did some research for her. But anyway, she said, I currently have Emeritus for my dental insurance and BSP for my vision insurance. Do you have any better recommendations? And I said, no, those are excellent companies. And I would recommend you stay with them if you can. So then she was asking for this information. I said, if I received your message, it fell into a black hole somewhere. So thanks for rating again. I have never tried enrolling anyone so far in advance. I called two of the companies in my portfolio. United American will not accept an application until the applicant has Part B of Medicare, and that's usually 3 months before the effective date minimum. Or maximum. Sometimes it's less than 3 months before the effective date. So then I called Mutual of Omaha, and they said they were willing to accept an application that far in advance. However, United American has a substantially lower monthly premium for you in your location and at your age. And that has been the case for the last 5 or 6 years. I've been watching. Oh, she's in Florida. So my conclusion is that you will probably be better off waiting until September in order to be able to apply for high deductible Plan G with United American. And so I had to convince her to just put it on the back burner for a couple of months until she was closer to the effective date. And 3 months in, she got her Medicare ID card, and that allowed me to get her the United American Medicare supplement plan that they will not issue without proof that you have Medicare Parts A and B. And let's see here now. Oh, this is one I got yesterday from a client that I already have. And it started out being a sad story, but the more I thought about it, the more I realized maybe there is a silver lining in this. So this gentleman writes, his name is Tom. He said, you helped me out last year with a supplemental plan for my Medicare. I have a friend in Louisiana who is seeking a supplemental plan for Medicare. He currently has a company, Blue Cross Blue Shield plan that is a PPO. Below are some circumstances he just found out about today. Number one, he has Medicare and the Blue Cross plan since he is still employed in the oil and gas business, working offshore at age 67. Number two, he received a lymphoma diagnosis today. This was yesterday. He was diagnosed with lymphoma, and he's meeting with an oncologist tomorrow for a treatment plan. He is concerned about his continuing employment and his ability to maintain his company health coverage during his cancer treatment, but he is uncertain if it would be possible to sign up for a supplemental plan based on this diagnosis, meaning a Medicare supplement typically has underwriting health questions, and they're going to turn down somebody who's got a diagnosis of lymphoma. Any thoughts or direction would be greatly appreciated. If you do not have Louisiana abilities, meaning are you licensed in Louisiana, then if you know of anybody who is licensed in Louisiana, that would be helpful. I am not sharing your information with him unless you choose for me to do that. I appreciate your time. And I didn't respond to that item there. I forgot that he said that. But I did say, Tom, and I had to do some thinking before this thought occurred to me. So, I could be a little faster on the draw. Your friend has one possibility to move into a Medicare supplement, which I hope he is able to take advantage of. If he is unable to continue working and thus is involuntarily terminated from his employer-sponsored Medicare Advantage plan, he will be given a letter to that effect from the insurance company. That letter should qualify him for guaranteed issue Medicare supplement of his choice out of all the plans that are available for sale in Louisiana. I would look forward to helping him out if this is how the situation plays out. I hope this comes as good news for him, and I hope his plan of treatment will be effective. Let me know if I can be of further help. So what could have been a very bleak situation may turn out to work to the gentleman's advantage. And, it would be unfortunate that he can't maintain his employment, but it would be fortunate that he has a lot of freedom of choice as to who to select for his treatment for his lymphoma. And Randy, I obviously went overtime, big time here. I apologize for that. So if you could hustle everybody out of here before they realize how late we are, I would appreciate it.
The operator's been breaking in, put a quarter in, put a quarter, no, another quarter, no, Another quarter. No, I have no quarters. My boss
Well,
won't give me any quarters.
years ago, I bought the book Steal This Book by Abby Hoffman, and it has a surefire method for fooling the operator when she breaks in requesting that money.
Well, you'll have to show me that book because I don't know. But anyway, having said all that, we need to go ahead and land the plane. We're coming in on 33 right today. It's the longest runway we've got, and we're going to need every bit of it. So here we go. Grab your pencil. Write down this email address, dbj@mlmmailbag.com. You can reach out to Doug any time of the day or night with that email address. He monitors it 24/7. I don't know how he does it. Doug is licensed nationwide to help you with your Medicare supplement planning. Check out the website, medicareforthelazyman.com. We would appreciate some reviews. Drop them around the neighborhood, drop them in the internet, drop them wherever you want, but drop reviews. We need them. We want to win out over the travel logs. It's always the travel logs and us. Down head to head. And we're going to come in by certainly more than a nose, but we want to win. Last but certainly not least, thank you for joining us. You could have been anywhere else doing anything else, and you weren't. You were with us, which is exactly where we love to have you. And nobody ever knows this for sure, but here it is. Write it down if you want. You have just spent about 32 and a half minutes with Doug Jones, the anti-insurance insurance guy, originally from Oklahoma. Now he's camped out in Pugsleyville, hopefully soon to get out of there because we want him back home in Arizona where we want him to be in the Nosebleed Mountains.
Well, I'll tell you right now, Pugsleyville is not the name I would have chosen. I live in a high-class area and surrounded by other high-class people, so we may have to change the name from Pugsleyville to something else that's less scary. But thank you very much, Randy, and thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us today. I hope you'll come back for our next episode. It'll be happening soon. So until then, bye-bye.